Terrible news, everybody. The military didn't come to our aid when we stormed the capital of Brazil.
Yep.
Sadly.
Yeah.
We were
sucks,
there.
Man.
All my friends, FREN,
I love how it's
we're all crying. We've got our blankets. We've got our juice boxes. We've had the worst week of all time.
Worst week ever?
Yeah.
The worst
Well,
week
we did
ever.
find those sex toys in one of the
Yeah,
Parliament
it's
members' lunch boxes or
tool of
whatever.
sodomy.
My two favorite guys of all time, Jair Bolsonaro and Andrew Callahan, have had the worst week ever. And it's just taking a toll on me.
I love the Brazil thing, how it's literally just Jan 6th to Jan 8th, because they're doing all the same tricks too. They're down there tweeting shit like, this is Antifa. The left hired these people. Fucking funny. The guy, Antifa the guy that took a video of himself taking a shit in that guy's office is so funny. Like the Mike Pence equivalent, like the judge that got Lula out or whatever, or, you know, they shit in his office. They all took dumps in there. How y'all shit?
Everyone in Brazil is just the Illuminator. They're Portuguese people who are American. That's all it is. It's just Portuguese American people in Fall River, Massachusetts.
I love
trying
that,
to do their own little thing.
I love that Bolsonaro got here, immediately takes off his socks and shoes and puts slides on, immediately removes pants and underwear and puts basketball shorts on, and then puts on like a golf polo, and then he's like, I'm set. And he's like, I definitely won't get sick touching all the fat faces of all of the the Brazilian immigrants that are coming to visit me in this neighborhood.
And then he went to Chris P's Wawa or some shit. I think I saw on Twitter.
And,
he went to the Minion room. The Minion escape
also,
room.
Yeah, because he was staying with Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Aldo, yeah. Jose Gracie, I call him.
It's so funny he was staying with Jose Aldo. And staying in the Minion room. You know what sucks, though? And I think I mentioned this to you guys. I was in Orlando 4 days before he got there. And then I was in Jacksonville a day before all the Sherlocks went down for
Oh,
bowl
man,
game.
you just
I missed all of them. I was there when no one cool was there.
Usually they're attracted to you. You have
just my
magnetism.
family. I know. Well, they came later.
Yeah, they were on your trail. They could sniff you.
They all used to be in Ohio, and now they're all in North Carolina.
They're coming. They're circling me. They're slowly becoming more gravitated towards me.
Well,
but the Sherlocks are being pushed away, because I guess they can't do crimes at home anymore.
I think.
Well, they still can. They just have to do them against each other.
Jair should
That's
move
true.
it to the Poconos and live across the valley from Gulan, and we can start a little country up there. We can just keep doing weird stuff up in Pennsylvania.
I think he should just legitimately move to the Providence, Rhode Island suburbs.
Yeah.
There's some guys named Joe Au there.
He's a Florida type guy. He is
Florida
just he belongs in Mar-a-Lago or somewhere down near Miami.
It'd be really funny if
He's a
default,
Hollywood, Florida guy.
Default exile for a far right deposed dictator in Latin America.
Absolutely. So it's funny though, because you mentioned those the Brazilians that come to Orlando, and my wife worked at Universal. Many of her friends worked at Universal. Everybody she grew up with, either Universal or Disney. And they always say the Brazilian tourists that would come in were, one, the meanest people and the strangest people. One time, this person was leaving the park with this big box. And one of my wife's friends was like, what are you doing with that box? And he's like, I'm leaving. I'm going. Like, you can't. What's in that box? Why are you taking this whole box? This is weird. You don't get boxes.
Oh,
here.
he's doing a movie quote thing. What's in the box?
And they opened up the box, and it was a pigeon. They were trying to smuggle a pigeon out of the park to take back with them.
Why?
I don't
fucking
know.
Joe Bluth, man.
I don't
Joe
know.
Bluth with the pigeon in the fridge in the bag.
They're going to eat it.
The people that would come in were just so wealthy, they just thought they could do whatever they wanted.
It's so,
and
but
they're
if
just
they're
trying
so
to
wealthy,
steal a pigeon.
Why
it's
do you need
why do you need a pigeon from the Universal? It's not
That's what,
branded. It's
That's
not
what
Harry
homeless
Potter's
people
pigeon.
do is they catch a pigeon and cook it, but not even now. Homeless people 50 years ago, maybe.
What if they
if you're
promise,
wealthy,
though?
you can just go to the pet store, get a cockatiel.
Bro, I
What
don't
if
know.
they promise someone a bird from Disney?
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe
This is Mickey
they were
Mouse.
hired by Jason to
This is Mickey Bird.
collect wounded pigeons.
Yeah. Jason takes care of my wounded birds and wounded plants.
That fucking lamb's quarters that he pulled up was so awesome. One of the most common weeds, which you can actually eat when it's young. The leaves, you can
You
cook
probably
the
actually
leaves.
put
you
it
can
in
eat
a
them raw.
stew. You probably put it in a broth or
Yeah,
something.
you forgot
replied
what it
to
is.
that you can actually eat this.
Yeah, I thought you were trolling him, but that's nice you weren't.
It's actually
Yeah.
true. And I mean, if he tried to eat it, it would just be all like pesticides and salts and like
I know,
dog
but
pee and
Jason's
stuff.
also like,
No, so
trying
just
to
said
troll me
normal
and get me
stew.
sick, and then he goes and turns and sips Fabuloso instead of
Yeah.
vodka by accident. Whoops.
Yeah, it would taste
Just crunching on eggshells.
just tastes like what he
Yeah.
normally eats, goat's head soup. Every time I hear the Rolling Stones album, Goat's Head
Please.
Soup, I think of him. That was the one they recorded in Jamaica, which is why they called it that.
Jason. Oh God, that's so. Him eating eggshells all day to get calcium like a lizard.
Oh.
What's worse, eating eggshells or eating butter for calcium?
I mean, ugh. Melanie Mac's
What?
gotta just have
So
the
that-
greasiest farts.
I clicked
Like
on one
shit.
of her tweets the other day, and I don't know if we mentioned this on a pod or not. The Gamergate thing that she was involved in. Maybe it was on a stream.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it. Yeah.
Where she's
I think it was on
she's
Patreon,
like
yeah.
in a feud with some company that does re-releases of retro games.
Limited run games.
Limited run games because they had an employee there who was following Libs of TikTok and Ian Miles Chong, and then there was a transgender brony who got that woman fired for doing that, which I guess I support. But the woman who got her fired also has me blocked because I follow Melanie Mac. Ironically, so I'm on the Gamergate block list again. I'm already on the original one
You fucked up.
for being mean to Arthur Chu. So
Oh,
like
who would
anytime there's someone who's got like
Bunch of ants.
someone who's like the people that like Gamergate guys imagine, like the blue hair indie game dev, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a retweet from them, I'm blocked. And I didn't even do anything.
So you're
Look,
like
I'm
Gamergate
nice.
bipartisan now, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said all of those. Everyone on both sides of that should have been sent to a big island where they can just fight it out forever, and none of us have to hear from Ian Miles Chong or Brianna Wu or any of those.
There's only
people.
one
I don't
that I
know. That
noticed.
was
The game dev one that you're talking about that has you blocked. There's only one that I always notice that doesn't have me blocked, obviously, because I have a locked account, but it's the like panda persona with sort of like the butchy
Yes.
haircut. And the name doesn't matter, but I remember this is the person who, when the leftist juggalo thing blew up in 2017,
Ugh.
all of a sudden it said juggalo in their bio, and there's a bunch of like newspapers talking to them without them ever tweeting ICP or the word juggalo before that ever, and they haven't tweeted about it since that year about
That's
being
cool.
a juggalo, and it's no longer in their bio that they are a juggalo.
Yeah,
That's cool.
seeing
I mean-
Juggalo in someone's bio and just doing like a criminal record search and it comes up clean. Like, you're not a Juggalo.
no,
Fuck you.
no, there's no theft here.
Never stole
You
an
didn't steal a
alternator.
catalytic converter.
Speaking of Melanie Mac, I love this part of the life cycle and a freak that Tom and Drew get obsessed with, where you're kind of just like looking from afar at first, and then there'll be like the ironic retweets, but then after a while you get like pissed off at how much they suck, and then you just start full out attacking, quote tweeting them,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
unfortunately get blocked, and
Well,
then
it's-
in another couple months they'll be off the website for good because they're. I guess in this case, like someone's mom will find the tweets and like take
100%.
away their computer access.
So for
Who's
me,
Steven TV?
Steven
Yeah.
TV has me
Because
blocked.
his mom has cancer, so I don't think she's paying attention to it.
Yeah.
His mom is
Well,
cancer.
excuse me, I'm sorry.
Watley has me blocked. A lot of the guys have me blocked because someone went into their Discord.
No, I'm saying that as a good thing.
And yeah.
Because
Yeah.
so she
The
goes
freeze-
away before he does his shooting.
That's true.
Like,
Well, I don't think
I don't want
he-
her to have to see the shoot when he kills Melanie Mac.
He takes-
The aftermath, because he will. I
the
clicked on
game.
one of her tweets the other day, and within like 4 seconds, he had already replied to it.
Well,
I
he
guess we
is
should-
going to murder her.
Hold up.
He
Oh, yeah.
replies.
Hold up. We should
4
do
or
a
5
quick
times.
little background for anyone that isn't a Patreon, just about who the fuck we're talking about. So Melanie Mac is a digital YouTube creator who's one of those like raw meat diets, eat sticks of butter, etc. And Steven TV is her favorite reply guy.
She's Tradcath, sort of
Yeah, she didn't get enough attention from like anyone. Then she turned
being
to
a
like,
gamer girl.
yeah, she's like, how can I? Who will give me attention then? So she's like, how about all of the guys that hate women because they've never met one for some
Yeah.
reason?
Her
Yeah,
persona
she-
is just crafted to be like a pick-me for 38-year-old guys whose moms are afraid they're gonna get
She's
murdered
like
by
somewhere
him.
Jordan Peterson would be like, great, that's wonderful.
They watch a YouTube video crying about Marvel and then make their own YouTube video just mimicking it and post it to nobody. And it just happens down the line. And she gets like those, like the third guy down the line that's made that video. So it's like even after Shaney Entertaining, it's the next guy, the guy watching
before
Shaney Entertaining. Yeah, before Robozoid's at the bottom.
He's at
of
the
barrel.
bottom. Yeah, he finds out 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it's lonely at the bottom.
But yeah,
so these are the power bottoms. You're saying.
So yes, basically the Stephen TVs, the Whatleys, the DLs, the AR-15, who is the artwork of the previous podcast post. Like two of them, two podcasts.
The hand guy.
The hand, yeah, it was Mr. Sass. So she at one point was like a sort of a top content creator in the early aughts of the internet. Kind of plateaued, fell off, and decided, I'm going to go right wing. I'm going to go batshit insane. I'm going to go culture war. I'm going to go carnivore. And so now she only eats meat. She only eats butter. Not even joking, sadly. And she looks like shit. She went to the hospital because of dehydration. She's not drinking enough water. All this stuff. But yeah, basically, I get blocked by these guys because I like to rattle cages. I like to bother people. I like to make people uncomfortable on the internet because it's very funny to me.
People should be made uncomfortable. Nobody has any shame. No shame at all.
Well, that's the whole thing. So, like, when it's my guys, when it's guys that I find, or like Drew and I find together, then I don't feel bad about fucking with them ever. It's the same with Jamie Sweaty. Like, it was funny to read his gross sex tweets, and then he started tweeting about Black Lives Matter and like just horrible shit. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to make this guy feel some pain.
He's a genuinely bad person to everyone in his life.
As soon as I can recognize that they're just genuinely bad and not just horny little beasts online, then I'm going to start fucking with them. And I did. And as I got him removed from Twitter, he had to delete his account because of me.
Pretty good.
And then everybody's like, oh, I'm so sad I miss him. It's like, no, fuck him. I'm glad. I made his life so much worse. And I just have a big smile on my face. So yeah, I like to destroy these guys. I like to fuck with them.
Part of the problem is that guys like Steven TV, they're used to their notifications tab being completely empty. Because he tweets at Melanie Mac like literally 500 times a day. Just like 3 or 4 to every tweet the second it comes out. Like, oh my God, you look so good. That's awesome. I liked your latest video that you did. You made so many good points. That was so good, Melanie. This is awesome. Melanie's doing so good. Look at how many followers Melanie Mac has.
Well, I was talking about
and
this.
he gets no notifications because no one's favoring that shit. She's not replying. And then it's
he'll even reply and be like,
Canada's host.
You might not have seen my my reply, but I said before, like he replies with his own replies.
Is because when he would tweet that stuff and I would just quote tweet him and be like, this guy's oozing cum, he wouldn't respond. He didn't block me. And I would just do it over and over again. And I was like, what's it going to take for him to block me? And I was talking with Drew and Nate, and we were like, well, maybe we need to be like, Melanie, you look beautiful today. You look radiant. And then you'd get him in your replies being like, yeah, she does, but back off. Haha, I'm not kidding.
Be perfect.
Just imagine, like, because he's so defensive of her. Every time she posts, he makes 2 or 3 replies to her directly. And then if there's another guy replying, he replies to them as well.
You should make
he replies to everybody that replies to her.
Yeah, it's sort of like Jeffrey Dahmer finding out that someone else is trying to kill one of his underage boys, being like, back the fuck off. That one is mine. His skull will live in my house forever.
You should make an account called Melanie Mac #1 fan and post power rankings of her fans every day and have Steven always at like 5.
I just went and counted how many times he's either replied or mentioned her in the last 24 hours. Can I hear some guesses?
Oh,
Guesses.
24 hours? Oh my God. I mean,
60.
I would say, let's say
61 for me.
18.
Just kidding.
Somewhere it's 33. So I guess Mike wins, closest without going over. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And she doesn't see it. She doesn't see it.
Yeah, she removed him as follower, and he replied right away to that saying, so sorry, looks like I'm not able to DM you anymore. Hopefully one day I'll earn that privilege back. So sorry, Melanie. I pray for you. Have a great day. I pray for you.
He blocked me because he tweeted something along the lines of, I was just wondering if you can see this. I don't know what's going on. And I quote tweeted him like, who's going to tell this guy? And then he deleted it and blocked me because he got so mad.
Andrew, I knew this guy that acted like that, and he used to be. Everyone used to be like, "Oh, Adam's so wholesome. He's so nice," because he'd be like, help all the old ladies at church and stuff. And they're like, "He's a genius. He's gonna be on Jeopardy one day, and he's so good. He knows every game show, and he always wins them." Blah blah blah. And I don't know
I'm
how
better
it
at
happened,
Jeopardy
but
than my mom. I must be the smartest guy in the world.
when we were like 16. I found a post from that kid all over. Actually, I found all kinds of posts that were like, crippling pornography addiction. I think about it all the time. I come, all I do is jack off. I was like, oh my fucking God.
that's AR-15.
Yeah.
That guy is just constantly being like, I was 2 weeks sober and then I relapsed and now I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Man.
I'm
I just
thinking
don't
of
get
cutting
that
off
shit.
my hand.
Like, you can't just like go do it and then you don't feel like jacking off anymore and you can go to work or do something else.
AR-15
Like, they're just thinking about it all day. It's their whole mind is just
AR-15 is the type of guy who has like the fantasies every single day, everywhere he goes, about like saving everyone from a shooter, despite him not having a gun. He disarms them.
Bro,
Even though he'd be the guy that like runs through the fucking door wall.
well, you
In the
crouch behind
Discord.
him and then you press F to do a critical assassination.
Real quick, in the Discord, he was posting. So he's the guy who posts all the gym photos, and he's just looking worse. And he went to the shooting range for 30 minutes, and he posted, should that count as gym for the day?
Oh my God. Just holding the
Yep.
guns up.
That's
because
right.
you were standing up and going like this, just moving
standing
your
still.
finger.
That's exercise.
so if I was like,
Remember when people used to say Guitar Hero is exercise?
oh yeah,
That was a classic fat kid thing.
DDR
Yeah, I played. I
legitimately
stood up
was.
for a whole hour. Yeah,
DDR
DDR was
is.
actually.
it was probably just
Yeah,
spawned off of that.
Because you move around.
If I was 10 years younger, I would definitely be in the Melanie Mac Discord, like posting regular balanced meals and trying to get into arguments with them. And then when they did like get into arguments, I'd ask them to post physique to like see how well their diet's working.
Oh,
But
well.
I'm just too busy and mature for that now. But
But
that'd be a
that's the
I don't
whole
want to
thing.
get
The
that first when it gets
carnivore.
investigated.
yeah,
When
that's true.
everyone, oh, well, for sure. I mean, they're all like most of their info should be sent to the FBI. Be like,
They're
these
gonna
guys
take
are
a
dangerous.
selfie of their physique, and there's gonna be like a body bag in the back.
No,
just a
because-
hand coming out of the freezer.
No, not to be too mean, but they can't have bodies in their house because their parents,
their mom would
live
get
there.
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like even then, if they died in their room, their mom wouldn't find out for a week or two because it wouldn't smell any different.
That's also true.
Melanie Mac.
Not to be mean. Not to be
Melanie
mean. I don't want to be too mean to these guys.
They call me Smelly Mac because my room wouldn't smell any different if I died.
Just walking into your friend's room and putting your shirt over your nose and go, dude, it smells like a bloated 2-week-old suicided corpse in here.
She's walking around and she farts and her kidney falls out. She's like, oh, gotta put that back. Whoops.
That's
Oh,
man.
God.
Whoops, I got all the CrossFit diseases without exercise. All of it.
Again, makes me wish that I stayed in the church.
Yeah, I know. It seems so cool now.
And
Being Tradcath is just.
why is it so hard to find a nice Republican woman? You know?
That's the thing. It's not. It's not hard at all. God damn, these guys are so stupid. I hate them all. Because
They
it's the
all-
same as that guy who was just like, oh, why are we bullying these guys? Because, they're turning to fascism because they don't get girlfriends. It's like, fuck you, stupid asshole.
Vouch.
You
Yeah,
loser.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on that stuff because, like, there are genuine feelings that, like, I think every teenage boy has, especially ones that are like introverted or might be on the spectrum.
Mhm.
And like, I think the left should offer something to that. Like, that was sort of part of the appeal of Chapo, I think. Like, I think Felix got in trouble for saying that once. Like, they're like, edgy teenage boys, and they're like looking for something to listen to, and we don't want them to listen to like The Daily Show or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, in that case, like, I think like you can rescue a lot of those guys at a young age by having like left wing type stuff that might appeal to them. But at the same time, I think like 90% of the people who sign up for like men's rights, motivation, Andrew Tate ebook stuff they basically should live in a cage. They should be
Yeah,
put in
well,
a cage like a rabid dog.
Because they're beast mode, I
innocents.
agree.
If you leave them alone with a woman, they will kill them like Lenny and Of Mice and Men.
Well, like that was when I was like 15 or so. I remember I was on the there's this website called Nexopia, which is like a Canadian social network for teens.
Yeah, I used to post on
I'm not
there.
even-
And I got bullied out there for being American. I'm not even kidding. Like, get on your fucking ass here.
So
Did
it was
people
really
say
weird.
they had an American girlfriend?
I mean, I'm sure there was lots of that, but like you'd be like friends with people from your school. I remember I met somebody because like they were moving to my school, so they just like went to my city and like looked at people they thought were cool and messaged them or whatever. And then there was also forums where you could talk about everything. And there was like a dating one, and I was reading it, and they're like, "Oh, you should read this like ebook," which is like it was a PUA ebook on like 10 tips to fucking get chicks. I'm like, "Oh man, I'm a kissless virgin. I need to get chicks," which introduced me to that world. But I think I was lucky because the stuff that resonated the most with me were the people that were like, "Hey, you should just work on becoming the best person you can. Like, go to the gym, acquire skills, and just so long as you're like an interesting, cool person,
Yeah,
and
just genuinely
once you
good
figure that,
advice.
like, you're not gonna try and fill that hole inside you by just like getting a girlfriend because it's still gonna be empty no matter how much you have sex. So just try and find fulfillment and like read this fucking Eckhart Tolle book." It also recommended that I read Ayn Rand, but like, hey, you win some, you lose some.
The only
Yeah,
ones
but here's the
those-
thing.
But actually, at that time, it was I kind of liked that I read Ayn Rand because it fucking told me that I should probably go to university and like try and learn something instead of just blazing my own path. So it worked out, even though like I don't agree with the politics of it now. Yeah.
But here's the thing is like what a lot of those guys are saying is like the onus is on us, on everyone to like rescue them. But that's just fucking stupid. It's stupid to think you can rescue anyone or save them from falling into the right. It requires like, I don't know, self-awareness. It requires some sort of like ability to look inward and be like, you know, maybe I need to change. Maybe this is the reason why things aren't going my way. Maybe girls don't like me because I'm shy and I'm afraid to talk to them. Maybe I just don't feel confident. Maybe I need to just be a little bit more confident. or I
Maybe
need
the
to find
equilibrium
ways-
state is not that I'm successful.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah,
It's not, like,
exactly. Maybe it's like
automatically, like,
something you have to work for.
You get
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
You individually, you get to be successful and you get to have a happy marriage and all this stuff. Like that, no one says that. That's just
Yeah,
not
I
written
think we've
anywhere.
seen a good example of being even the first or even the second richest man in the world makes you a pretty happy, normal person. We've seen the last couple of months.
But
It will
so many
fix
of these
everything.
some of these guys lack that. So many people lack the ability to really look at yourself and be like, here's the things I need to fix, and I acknowledge that I need to fix this. Here's how I can sort of change it. Because, I mean, being 8, you shouldn't be necessarily condemned for being a shithead at 15, 16, depending on the level of shithead, of
That's
course.
when you get that shit out of your system. That's
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
sort of
That's
like
when you
start
should.
thinking about like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, am I like the smartest guy in the world and everyone's below me, or maybe not, or maybe I should develop empathy and everybody else. Like you're supposed to get that shit out of your system in high
Yeah,
school,
but
we-
you should get-
we're
you should
supposed
get-
to teach people that shit when they're like 45.
You need to get the shit kicked out of you. You need to be humbled, not even physically, but just like emotionally, mentally by everything
Someone's
happening
gotta
around
tell
you.
you like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah,
You're talking
That's,
too
that's
much.
what's
Shut up.
so good about Branson's first book, Into the Hills, Young Master. That's like what it's about. And I read it when I was 24, and it made me really reflect because I was like kind of past that point. But yeah, it's about a guy trying to find the perfect opinion, and you soon realize that it doesn't exist, and you haven't come up with it yourself.
You know
Yeah,
what's cool?
it's-
We just did our first ad read, except only Aaron's getting paid for Branson.
Yeah.
Check out his other books.
Yeah, if you could find him.
Get him, get him.
Woo!
No, but
In
I just
hindsight,
hate
I did
hearing
a
about
really
that.
good job dodging like the incel reactionary thing
Mhm.
because I'm like the perfect guy for that. Like I'm 5 feet tall. I didn't have any sex in high school. I love like Roman statues and philosophers and stuff. I had a bust of Wagner. I still have it. It's right behind me. I was obsessed with Wagner and
It
the Ring
never
Cycle in
busted.
high school, and I never busted.
Don't need to
Damn,
bust
yeah.
him. I got this bust.
That's a good display name. Bust guy who never busts with a statue picture.
But like,
That's-
I
that's
never
literally
had
all those
sex in
accounts
high
Now they're
school.
retention guys.
I didn't have sex in high school, and
Nah,
I was,
you guys are
but like
pussies.
I was like
I had
normal
self-sex.
enough. Yeah, well, I did that a lot.
Mike, who did you have sex with in high school?
Me.
Damn,
Wait a
lucky dude.
No, you
But,
guys
like,
don't know.
I mean,
Teacher, man, it was so hot.
No, me bragging about having sex in high school, but you guys know it was at age 20 when I lost my virginity. You're like, wait a minute.
But I
Yeah, I was
remember
dumb as fuck.
I remember reading Tucker Max when I was 16 and be like, "Oh, damn, this is dope as fuck. He's having sex. That's so
Okay,
cool."
I will say, even when I read Tucker Max when I was like the same age, I was like, yeah, fucking sucks. I don't want diarrhea all over me.
Yeah, I think my first exposure to him was Opie and Anthony making fun of him when he came on their show, and he was like, "Yeah, I gave a girl a dirty Sanchez, and
Do you know
we had
what's
a
funny about
donkey
that?
show."
I was talking to my dad over when he was home for Christmas about how much listening to like just daytime talk radio on the way to or from work with him, like to the car wash and oil change, changed my own perspective on so many things. Just hearing things that I initially thought were cool, and hearing just like some smug douchebags be like, "Yeah, that actually kind of sucks." I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of suck." I'm like, "You're 14. Shut up, little bitch." Like Drew and Mike and all those morning guys. Dave and Chuck the Freak. God, we had such good ones in Detroit.
All the Bubster guys.
Yeah, like Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern both making fun of the Dick Clark having a stroke and then going on the air thing. That was like the light parting the clouds for me. Like someone being rational about this horrible, disgusting monstrosity they're forcing on us on New Year's.
Mine was these guys had like one of the perfect, like, you guys probably had like a talk radio station in your city too that was like, it wasn't even just sports. It was like just random talk shows. And they're like, I think that all died out by like once pods started coming out, you know?
CBC Radio 1, I guess. But
Yeah, I actually got
too
CBC Radio
small
1
to
too.
have- yeah.
Yeah, I could
But,
still get one locally, I think. The Springfield Morning Zoo guys.
We had some guys
Yeah,
here
with Homer
forever.
Simpson.
From
That's
like
right.
the second I started listening to that shit at like 13, and they left in like 2007. They were Dominsky and Doyle, which sounds like a fake radio guy's name, like from a movie. Dominsky and
Divas
Doyle.
and Duthead.
They literally, you know, that was like that was the type of show too, like very like guitar riffs between commercial breaks and shit.
We had
But
a few
they
of
were
those
like
guys.
fine though. They were just like a couple dads. They were awesome.
Who's the one Bubster's obsessed with in Ohio? I forget his name.
I always call him like Spike, and the. I always make up names for him. It's something like that though. The morning show guy.
Spike and the Spud. Buster and the Butthead.
I listened to 107.9, which was like the hip hop station. And so like that was when I like drove. So that was the only like talk show that I listened to while I was driving. Because before that, my sister drove.
We sound like Sean in the Pack right now. Back when we drove, yeah.
When I drove, when I started driving.
Was it an African American style morning zoo show?
Oh, absolutely. They did this bit.
I missed out on
where
that being in the Great White North. I have to go to Connecticut to get a hip hop station.
They did this bit where they would have people call in if they were late for work, and then they would ask how late they were. And I think a lot of people lied and stuff, but it was always funny being like 17 and then some guy's calling like, "Yeah, I'm 30 minutes late for work," and it's like, dude, why are you calling in?
Bro,
Get off.
speaking of that, when I worked at the car wash and we'd be bored on like there'd be rainy mornings where they would like call us straight away and be like, only two of you come in because it's like pouring, so decide who's gonna stay home, whatever. And we'd get there, of course, and just kind of be on duty in case it stops raining. So we'd be bored as fuck, and just using our cell phones at the time because that's right when like unlimited calling and like Nextel had unlimited calling just came out because they had good towers, and we were just calling random like Myers and Targets and shit, being like, "Hey, this is Dave. I'm not gonna be in today."
I've done that before.
Calling in for people all over, just like randomly, then giggling about it. Like I was doing this. I was 15 doing it, which is understandable. But the coworker whose idea it was, this guy Brian, he's like 30 at the time. Like,
Well, hold on. Let's not
Pranking your own work is very funny.
Let's not put down 30-year-olds tweeting that
no,
at
I
Target.
think it's cool now. I'm glad I'm youthful. You know.
No, I think
I think
30-year-olds are cool and they can do whatever, but anyone older than that is a
No,
moron.
I know. I was joking.
Being raised and escaping like being a tradcath through like literally Howard Stern type shit definitely made me act already. I was probably really annoying. I was probably really annoying at 16 on account of that. So I had very like daytime radio opinions.
The Jewish media is stealing our good Catholic boys from their Christian families.
Nobody I grew up
Thank
with,
God.
like, I never grew up in like the trad cath environment like I see these people talk about and shit. Like church was always just something you went to with your parents. Everybody I knew, nobody cared about, no gave a shit.
Yeah, maybe your grandma cares about it, but
Yeah, but your parents care about it, but it's kind of stupid that your parents like it
You
so
know what?
much.
My
But
family went
the
into
problem
phases
is-
with it.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, I could have been just your regular, like, sports betting barstool type of guy, because that's where so many guys I knew went down that path, where now they're just making, like, oh, the Browns are playing, whoa, Deshaun's gonna get a massage, and I'm just like, dog, he's got 24 counts of sexual assault. Stop saying that shit. All right. I have to like yell at them every time they want to text me. And it's like, first of all, I'm not even, it's like, I already disowned the Browns. I disowned the Browns. Stop texting me about the Browns. I don't give a fuck about the Browns. But also stop saying that stuff. It's really dark, man. All right. Like, I know we were all like 20 and said, oh, Raplesberger, we hate his guts. But then it's like, okay, well, this guy has 20 or 12 times the amount of cases Roethlisberger has. So I think we should just say, fuck him.
Yep.
They did get paid for those massages, though.
That's the worst case scenario for
So
me.
no money changed hands with Roethlisberger. So they
God damn it.
look. I'm a Browns fan, so I'm just.
Bro,
I've always been a Browns fan.
You were before.
Alex got a fucking half Patriots, half Browns jersey. Like he's a player. Like he's a player's mom with players on each team.
Oh my god!
I finally found the radio station or the radio show that Bubster's obsessed with. It's Rover's Morning Glory.
Rover's Morning Glory.
Rover.
Yes,
Rover's
yes,
Morning
Rover.
Glory.
Rover was huge. I had a lot of friends that listened to Rover and like always wanted to talk about him, but
they were all from the area that it broadcast.
yeah, they were all from the area, and so it was
They
fine.
were
But it was still
listening
like
to it over the internet.
no, it was not something I wanted to
Detroit's
listen to
main
at that time
top,
or
like,
now.
Detroit's main top 40 station. They've had the same guys on there, I think, since '98. Now they each make over $1 million a year doing the morning
Yeah,
radio. That's like a
Damn.
4-hour shift.
It is kind of a shitty job to have because you're like a famous guy and you have like one of the easiest jobs in the world, but you also have to get up at like 5 a.m. no matter what.
That's also true. Yeah, they are there at like 4:30 every day. But
Oh
they
yeah,
have they have the
100.7.
best. They have the best radio. They have the best radio too. Spike and Mojo.
Awesome.
100.7 was like the
Mojo in
it's
the morning.
buzzard. It's not the classic rock, but it played like
Modern rock?
late 90s, early 2000s rock. Yeah,
Yeah,
more
plays like,
modern
plays
rock.
like
but-
live.
Yeah,
Some guy's penis in my ass
Yes,
again.
again.
I feel particularly bad for the early morning sports guys because they have to be up the night before watching the big game and then get up in 6 hours and go to work to talk about what happened.
Listen, you're talking to somebody who was a Red Wings fan when they were in the Western Conference for most of my life.
Awful.
My ass stayed up till 1:45 every night to watch those fucking West games, man.
If I was one of those guys, I think I would just get up at like 6 p.m. and watch the game while I'm drinking my coffee, and then I do the show, and then I go to bed at like
Speaking of
10 a.m.
that, you just reminded me. It came into my head that Red Wings fan that would fucking do like the chug challenges that looked like the really sweet big teddy bear. They'd be sitting by like his son playing fucking Mirror's Edge and shit. Like random has games next to him while he's chugging shit. You remember what I'm talking about? You could barely understand him too. He looked out of it all the time.
Oh, the guy we were watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was playing like a Spider-Man game or something.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, it was the weirdest angle I've ever seen.
I missed that guy. I was checking on him. I don't know. It just
I
popped in
think
my
I
head 'cause
subbed to him and he didn't upload.
he had wing shit on at some point.
You should go hang out with him.
I don't know because all of those sports guys loved that shit. There was nothing more hype to them than just getting up early and yelling about sports. Because in Ohio we had it was like Bolin the Fox, and Dustin Fox was like a safety for Ohio State and like couldn't make it in the pros, but everybody loved him. Oh, how this guy played at Ohio State. We got to listen to everything he said. And he just up at like 4 a.m, just hype on pre-workout, yelling and shouting. And they'd get dumb Ohio fans calling in. Be like, do you think the Browns should draft Ted Ginn Jr. at quarterback? He played quarterback in high school. And they're like, yeah, man, that sounds awesome.
I love those guys that call in and you can hear how fat and dumb they are when you're like, you guys are just saying some crazy. Oh my God. There's one guy in Detroit that Andrew and I have talked about before, but just on stream. I don't think on the pod. And he's like bounced around from different sports stations, but he's usually just like a 97 The Ticket guy. But he's like the kind of guy that even though he's been like a main sports columnist in Detroit for like 40 years now, but they don't respect him at the radio station at all. And I know this because whenever there's like a blizzard or someone's sick and there's just like his ass was on there randomly at like 3 a.m. and his name is Pat Caputo. Oh my, Pat Caputo, like he's like if Chris Farley was still alive and was a sports guy but he was never an actor. And he's like, he gets on the radio and he's so fucking like Tommy Boy. Like he'll have people call in, especially late at night, and sort of fuck with him, and be like, "No, I know how you up there in Lake Orion," and mention where he lives, and be like, "Hey, let's not talk about that. Besides, Lake Orion's a vacation at home. It always has been. Like, fuck, Pacaputo, 971 a ticket." And I used to get Andrew so bad because we'd be like driving down the road, like home from something like 3 a.m, and I'd start going, "Hey, Andrew, you ever been with any girl that wasn't white? You ever been with a black girl?" Just talking like that. Andrew would be fucking like crying, have tears in his eyes, just laughing. So
It's
good.
awesome that no matter where you go, like the sports radio guy is like an Italian who talks like that in
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah, he lived close to my grandparents too, but I never met him.
There's
I
a
could've-
factory that makes them on Staten Island, and they ship them everywhere. Yo, what's up, Chet?
Hey, what's up? I'm
Pacaputo.
already recorded before I started. I joined, so
Yo,
My man.
It's fine.
That's what's
I was thinking ahead a little bit. You know,
We have an open door policy here on the show.
Yeah,
35
sorry about
minutes. It's
the
fine.
lobby
Sorry,
podcast.
women. Why does it take them so long to pack? That's what I want to know. Should have been on time. I'm sorry.
Too many thongs.
Oh, for our
Yeah.
listeners, what are you talking about, Chet?
I think I have a girlfriend.
Oh
Actually.
my
Ooh.
gosh.
Sorry.
What's
I know,
his
right?
name?
Shut
Nice.
up! Shut up! Come on, that's not a guy. It's a girl. She's hot.
What's her name?
Yeah.
Don't say her name.
I mean, you're allowed to say her name.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
Dox
dog.
her, though.
Here, I'll just you guys can. I'll give you your phone number so you can call and ask her.
Okay.
So it's,
Oh, cool,
yeah.
So maybe listeners can call and leave some questions for her.
Yeah.
We'll get
Yeah.
back. She can
Yeah,
record
but-
5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. But
Call her randomly. 5 minutes. Go.
It kind of, yeah, she was here for like a week and a little over a week, but I fucking, if you guys followed me on Twitter, you probably saw that I was in the hospital because my stomach was acting up. And then I was puking so hard, I threw my back out. So I was just like,
stomach full of cum.
Girls think it's hot when you're sick.
yeah.
That's why they become nurses, because they
Yeah.
think sick guys are hot.
Yeah, they're just there to pick up guys.
That's what was it. She
You're
loved
actually
it.
right.
She said I had one of the prettiest sounding puke noises that she's ever heard. So
Oh,
and she heard a
wow.
lot. She heard a lot of it. I was just,
He's down bad.
yeah. I did do something funny in the shower that's been making me laugh for like the last couple of days though. I was like just putting really hot water on my back, and I was like doing like on my hands and knees in the tub, like while the shower was running, like doing like my back stretches and stuff like that. And while I was doing that, like my ass was towards the side where the drain is at, and I had to pee while I was on my hands and my knees. So while I was down there, I like tucked my dick between my legs behind me, and then I peed straight backwards and right into the drain.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
nice.
I was hoping
So it was,
and I was
it was
just
like you were fucking the drain.
Pretty much, yeah. Basic from like about 30 feet
You were
away.
gonna say your dick flung up and you peed in your mouth like an
No,
orangutan.
Part of the rain gang now.
I mean if that's gonna happen, that's the place
Man,
for it to happen.
That's
But,
like that old bodybuilding.com post about the guy on the date that had to shit and then he's like laying across the toilet into the bathtub. You remember that one, Mike?
One of the first
Yeah,
Rage
dude.
comics was about a guy shitting into his hand in the bathtub and then whipping it out of the
Yeah.
shower into the toilet and missing, and then he
Yeah, the
says,
turd missed in the toilet. He goes,
"Fuck."
"Fuh." That was the first one. It was the first one. He's taking a shower. That's the scenario. The first panel, he's just taking a shower, and he's like, "Oop, I gotta poop." Then it shows him pooping into his hand, and then it says like "splop," and he's throwing the turd into the toilet, but it like misses. It like overshoots, and he's going, "Fuck."
I think that might have been the guy who drew the face.
Yeah, I
Like
believe it was.
that was the guy that hand drew all those pictures.
Yeah.
It was about the poop.
the best
so
poop.
funny.
My favorite poop media is the one where the guy's got the boner and he just smacks it down into himself, and then a turd flies out of his butt when his boner goes away. You guys know what I'm talking about? That one always
I
cracks
do.
me up. That comes into my head every once in a while, and I go, ha.
I love old nightmare poop date threads like that from back in the
Yeah.
day. Whether or not they were real. Did you guys ever read the one that was like the like warning to all men about shaving your asshole, about why not to do it?
Oh yeah, because then
That's
your
a
ass gets
legendary
all
one.
sweaty. Yeah.
He called little pieces of poop his Grogans. He's talking about how, like, when you wipe and your Grogans are all still stuck on there, but then like the second you take 9 steps going to class, your ass starts sweating. It feels like your ass is crying. It's so funny. Like, this kid definitely lived in like Phoenix or something. Because the second he'd step outside, he said his ass would immediately be like, just fucking cheeks.
Baby powder.
And it's so funny, dude.
Also put a guard on it when you shave it. if you use a shaver, then you don't have the problem.
Bro,
That's the move for body hair, I think, is very short.
How did this guy not be able to handle having a boner and peeing and pooping at the same time?
Do
It's
you want
not
to get
that
into
hard.
it?
No,
Yeah, I mean, you
do.
just-
That's simple.
you just
tuck
wait
it
like
in.
10 seconds, your boner goes away. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
it's
just
down
wait
far
wait
enough.
a few minutes. Like you're.
If you got to
are
shit,
you,
just
are you
shit.
are you looking at porn? You're like still watching porn. Like, why
You
won't
guys
my
ever-
boner go
you
away?
guys ever
Well,
blunted?
let's just go through it. Let's read it. A little reading series.
Have you guys ever pooped so hard
Yes.
that you got to
I
pee more
died.
when you stand up?
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Like all the time.
Yeah, that's like a normal thing.
Yeah.
The older you get, the harder you poop, and then that happens.
It happens all the time where I have to poop and then I stand up and then I'm
You
just
gotta
like,
pee some more.
I gotta pee.
You're a little
Yeah.
teapot, bro. Short and
Damn.
fat.
Okay, so here's
I
the
don't know.
thread.
I
If
feel
you've
like I
been
get more
following-
pee out when I'm sitting down.
but sometimes you just don't get it all out. You're just like, well, maybe it's still there.
Oh, you got to
Maybe my
hang
penis-
upside down.
Well, maybe.
Maybe Alex doesn't
It'll drip
strain
out
as hard as
better.
Tom and I.
Bro, I am not straining.
No, I am.
I am not.
I burst.
Sometimes, no, it's
No,
some,
it's usually
recently.
pretty easy.
One of the
It's pretty
best
good.
parts of the bidet is that you can give yourself an enema if you want.
Well, and I do.
You can clean it right out.
I'm way too regular to be like a guy that's like, just don't
Yeah.
happen. Not gonna
I get
happen.
but I like that most of my life was like drinking beer and stuff, and so I'd be like, "Oh, I have constipation." It's like, bro, I just have diarrhea all the time.
Yeah. Getting-
oh, not my problem.
That partying phase of your life where you get excited for salad turds. Woo, looks like a normal turd. Your friend's like, what are you talking about? You're like, nothing.
Wait, are you not supposed to have diarrhea?
Bro,
every
check it out. My
day?
turd looks like my poop looks like a turd. That's a beer guy having a normal shit. Dude, check it out.
I still
Poop
don't
looks
really
like a
get
turd.
constipated.
Nah.
I get it.
Does that come with age or something? Like,
I get.
I remember
travel
it happening when I was
constipation.
a little kid, and like you would only eat candy or something. You'd like
Yeah.
only eat crackers for 2 days and be like, I can't shit.
Yeah, I definitely don't. If I've ever gotten it, it's been at my own hand. Like I ate fucking pound of cheese because I was stoned.
The only
Mhm.
time it's happened to me is when I got opiates after wisdom tooth surgery. That's why I can never be an addict, because you just stop. You can't shit.
Yeah, that's why Vincent Vega was
There's
on the
just poop stuck in you.
Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction was always on the toilet because of his drug use. And he was constipated. A little behind the scenes. If you guys, I watched one of those 10 facts you didn't know about Pulp Fiction videos the other day.
I was thinking like, wasn't he on drugs in the movie? Like that's how it was. No, but there was because people also they get plugged up. Like my dad had a patient once that got addicted to Imodium because of the tiny little opiate presence in it.
Yeah, it can
And-
cross the blood-brain barrier if you take enough.
Yeah, and he built a big cork in his ass, and then when the cork came out, it sprayed shit all over the room.
That's cool. I
Yeah,
want that actually.
Imodium is just like Percocet, but without the fun part. It's just the part where you can't poop.
Oh, that's
Well, that's the fun
great.
part. That's the fun
It's
part. is
awesome.
the whole
Yeah, it's
thing.
great.
Oh, I'm
Do all
off
the time you save.
I'm off the perky. You're just sitting there like,
I'm off the Imodium.
I'm off the perky. Your fucking
like-
feet are like all twisted up. And you're just laying on your side.
It's like caffeine-free Coke.
Caffeine-free Coke. I remember being at my grandma loved that shit because she was
Yeah.
Old people
diabetic and
love
she-
it. And it
she
tastes
had
like old
like
people.
the diet caffeine-free, whatever, like horrible shit.
Yeah, the
And,
gold can.
Yeah, the gold can, like the worst thing that you ever seen in a gold can. But I remember going over there. She'd be like, "Don't drink these. These are mine." I was like, "Whoa, no problem. I'm not touching that, Grandma." Like she has a fridge full of like 3 kinds of root beer, fucking Hawaiian punch in the can. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have a gold can Coke."
Oh no, Grandma, I want that.
My grandma was really into drinking soda from a straw, like Frank.
Oh, nice.
Her
Was your
favorite
grandma
was
Frank?
ginger ale. Yes.
Another loss.
Okay.
That's a pretty old person thing though. Old people love to go to the soda shop.
Mm-hmm.
They probably
Yeah,
think it's
he's
weird
like the youngest person doing it.
They probably think it's weird as fuck to drink from cans.
I had a Monster Ultra Gold and was reading the side of it, and it's always a fun like adventure reading the side of a Monster can where they're talking to you about it. According to the ancient Greek legend, the nectar of ambrosia gave him immortality to all who drank it. Unfortunately, this fruit of the gods is just a myth, but we were inspired to create Ultra Gold as close as we can to get for mere mortals. With zero sugar, easy drinking, Ultra Gold has a heavenly fresh flavor of biting into a perfectly ripened golden pineapple While we can't promise immortality, our Monster Energy blend will help you stay focused and alert and ready for whatever life throws at you. Go for the gold.
All right.
What a
Six,
loser
six,
job to write
six.
those.
Short
That's pretty
top,
cool.
long tail.
Short top, long tail.
It's so funny how upset that woman got about that because it's the same person writing that copy too. And they're like, 666, wink, wink, wink. And it's just the most lame corporate shit. And she's genuinely scared of it. And now that's everybody now. That's all the people that thought the Travis Scott concert was a satanic thing.
Well, it
They're
was.
seeing like the most
fair.
obvious, like just corny, edgelord, satanic, upside down cross shit. They're like, this is actually Satan. This is real.
I was left thinking back to the Travis Scott thing where he sees the kid unconscious being like wheeled out and he's sitting there moaning into the auto-tune mic. And so it's just going like, yeah, that's sort of satanic, but in like the way the fucking broken skeleton toy is, like not in like a premeditated evil way. Just in the way, get the hell off the stage. Get off.
That reminds me of the Beyonce concert moment where she holds the mic up to a fan to sing part of Halo, I think, and the fan's been screaming and she's like, and she pulls the mic away. And then that reminds me of the other Beyonce concert moment where her hair got sucked into the fan. I had to pull it out.
She was such a trooper for
Yeah,
singing
and she
through
kept
that.
singing. Good for
My
her.
favorite moment, like one of those, is Janet Jackson used to do that thing where she would put the guys on, like, she'd put her super fans, usually a gay guy, in like the like X-shaped crucifix type thing, and strap him on it, and then they give him like a lap dance. And there's that one guy where like you could hear on her mic, well, even while she's like bent over and like towards the ground, he's just screaming in like ecstasy. He's like, ah, oh my god! Oh, it's one of the funniest videos. I'll make us watch that again on Sunday or something.
Janet Jackson used to do this thing on stage where she would put Justin Timberlake's hand on her tit on purpose to embarrass him.
Bro,
was
Dr.
so
Umar,
funny. She would do that.
Dr. Umar was talking about that again recently, how much he hates Justin
God.
Timberlake.
What actually happened there? Was the whole thing planned, or because
I
she
think
had
the
like
whole
a
thing
pasty
was
on her
planned.
nipple?
Yeah, she
They
had
were
the
trying
pasty.
to distract from 9/11.
Oh, okay.
Worked.
2 years after.
People were talking about it too much.
I think it was all planned and like it was part of the set and like people didn't really know what happened and then they realized like, oh no, she took off her bra and then everybody blamed her and Justin Timberlake was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna see myself out.
I remember going back to watch the tape the next day because I had it recording for some reason. Like I wasn't even that interested in it, but I guess I was just like, I had a VCR and a blank tape and I was like, I'll record it. And then I got lucky because I heard at school there was a tit. There was a tit.
I think
On
my
so
older,
live.
I think my older brother and I were the
Jackpot.
only ones that were watching at the time when the tit showed, and everybody's like, "What?
Did you imagine if
Honestly,
Twitter was
I-
around for that? Oh.
I respect her much more as a musician than I do as a tit.
What happened when we saw Lenny Kravitz's penis?
Best one.
When
It
did
was
that
awesome.
take place?
It was probably like
2016
that was
2017 or 18.
yesterday for me.
It was really
He did a
cool.
split
Lenny
and then
Kravitz
just-
penis.
The
I'm
whole thing
Googling
came
it.
out.
Yeah.
What was it just last year that one chick peed on the fan on the stage? That was fucking.
Oh,
that
was
was so
Fergie.
gross.
Yeah, no, hold on. That was not
I saw that
Fergie.
woman come up into my feed through something completely different that had nothing to do with peeing, and I recognized her name and I looked it up, and her name is Eurista,
Oh,
which everybody pointed that out when it happened. That it sounds like urine barista.
Her wife was like a fitness influencer with like a lot of followers and stuff. And I remember watching that and thinking, this is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
And that guy is so proud to get peed on. And then it's like, man,
He liked
it's gross. You go back out into the crowd. You're like, yeah, I got peed on. Yeah, you stink, dude. Get out of
I
it.
hope she was well hydrated.
That lady was not drinking
It's
water.
so
Yeah,
gross to
that's-
be like, that was so epic. She peed on me. You go back and stand in the crowd. Everyone's like, yeah, get the fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Well, it's funny how
Nasty
you
ass.
defend Fergie for peeing herself.
Fergie didn't pee herself.
Yeah,
That
she
was
did.
sweat. That was
Oh, it was
sweat.
Well, your
First
whole
of all-
body sweats.
okay,
Your
first
whole
of
body
all-
sweats,
It was
not
actually-
just your
First of
crotch.
all, the
Okay,
black eyed
can I
peas
tell
would
you what
never do
happened?
anything wrong.
Can I tell you what
Fergie would
happened?
never do anything
Can
wrong,
I tell you what
please.
happened?
Yeah,
It was
let
Will
out.
I Am's capris, and he was embarrassed, so she switched pants with him, and that's why they're called black guy peas.
Well,
Oh, okay. It was Will I Am's
Will I
Capri
Am-
Sun, and he spilled it on her
and he
pants.
squirted
Oh,
it on
I
her
got
pants.
that wrong then.
He drinks
Yeah.
juice.
Because he wouldn't pee himself either. He's a professional.
Anyway, Google Will.i.am's car, everybody.
He's cool. Look at his headphones too. He tried to make his own beats, but no one cared.
Beats by
I
Will.i.am.
Beats by Will.
William.
Wheats
I
by Will.
care. He's bringing music back. We're bringing electro hop back.
No, we're
They need
not.
to make a new album.
They did the iHeartRadio like Christmas show, and I think they're like touring again.
It's kind of crazy that the Black Eyed Peas take 7 years to make an album. If you look at the lyrics and listen to the songs, like they're maybe when they started out there was a little more care put into it, but now it's kind of just cut and paste.
It
What
took
the fuck?
it took
Not
us an
cool.
hour. It took us an hour or less than an hour to write that song.
Yeah, it
so-
did not take long. It took me maybe an hour or two to put the beat together.
You know, there's an I Got a Feeling for the Red Wings. I Got a Feeling version. It's awesome.
A new
wow.
one?
No.
It's from when they won the cup in 08 during that playoffs.
Great year, great team.
I don't think it was an
Great
actual.
song.
I think it was a like locally made, fan made one that sounds just like it.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
But the
I
radio
remember-
would fucking play it like in place of it.
I remember when the Steelers and the Packers were in the Super Bowl.
They should have called
A
that
while
the Super
ago.
Bowl.
They
yeah.
what was it? Lil Wayne made a green and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're real mad people were.
And I like all my Steelers fans that were friends, like they were just so fucking mad. I just remember going on Facebook for like 2 weeks straight and just seeing them, fuck Lil Wayne, I hate
Dude.
Lil Wayne now.
What year was that?
2011?
Yeah, 2011.
Okay, so
He's
already
Super
past the
Bowl.
point when anyone should have listened to Lil Wayne.
No, not wrong. Wrong. Weezy
What?
could drop right now and I'm listening. No, he's just lucky that Wiz Khalifa didn't bust a cap in his ass for that bullshit. You know, Taylor gang.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Wiz Khalifa was like that. That was like when he was already making like, so what, we get drunk, so what, we smoke weed.
Was
Did
it
any
Mac
of you
and
guys
Devin
get
go to high
called
school?
up
This
to
guy's a
testify
thug.
against Young Thug?
No, I did
Yeah,
not. Thank God.
Nate
No.
did.
Oh, I have to do it next week. It sucks.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Alex and Charles have to go in.
It's funny how Nate is not a real friend of Young Thug because he's not
He's a fake friend.
either being charged with him or
That's
testifying
actually
against
why
him.
he's locked right now on Twitter, so can't say too much.
Oh, okay.
He didn't. I kept saying he snitched on Young Thug, and he kept getting really mad at me.
It's because Young Thug
Wonder
fell asleep
why.
when he was playing NBA 2K.
I hate Rat Roos.
Right, Roos.
Give him some cheese. Fuck.
Nate Roos
Gee.
and Drew Drews.
Drew Drews is so
Drew Drews.
stupid, man. Drew
They're
Drews.
related. That's Drew is Nate's brother. Nate's younger brother.
Who has a different name.
Well, just a different mom, same dad.
Drew Aces. That'd be pretty cool. They'd be the Gallagher brothers.
Which
That'd
ones?
be cool.
know.
The one that hits a watermelon.
Drew's
Yeah.
Drew's gonna replace Nate and Fun. The
Gotta
Fun's
get-
gonna get back together with Drew instead.
Lemon and Lime Gallagher. Can't remember Noel and Liam. Hey, Lemon and Lime Gallagher from Oasis. Fuck, then he said Medell Dazeem shit. Remember that, guys?
Yeah.
Adele Dazeem. That's why John Travolta got canceled, because he said Adele Dazeem. Oh man,
He's awesome.
we need a good flub
Bringing
like that
it back to
happen.
massage assaults.
Can you
Oh,
The
believe
second time.
it's such bullshit they're not having fucking Will Smith at the Oscars this year?
Well,
Think about
yeah,
it.
what's
That'd be so
happened?
much camera time. Everybody's gonna be like, "Is he gonna do it?"
Is he gonna
Oh,
be
must-watch TV.
Whoa.
Picture in picture of just Will Smith.
Also,
He's got to train on him the whole time, make sure he
Chris-
doesn't do anything.
Chris Rock's upcoming live Netflix special. How quickly into it does he get over it and make the joke? Is it
Oh, he's
instant?
gonna talk. Oh yeah, it's
Or
gonna
is he
be
or
like
is he
yeah,
gonna
10
reference it
minutes.
like 8 times?
It's gonna be 10 times. It's gonna be 10 minutes in or shorter, and then he's gonna reference it like 5 times
I think it's fair.
because he's got nothing else
Yeah.
to say.
Mm-mm.
Like, who fucking wants to listen to Chris Rock in 2023?
Me.
Oh,
I'm also
well,
waiting
Michael.
for the. I'm waiting for
Michael
the
and
new
Aaron. Okay, I apologize.
Snoop Dogg and Dre albums too. I need those guys to drop, man. So good.
Damn, Chris
Well,
Rock,
yeah.
I love your stuff. When I was like,
Isn't
6
it crazy
years
how
old.
fucking Detox came out and nobody gave a shit after like 10 years of hype?
Well,
Actually, kind of sucks that it didn't get the hype it deserved. He probably worked really hard on that.
Thank you, Chet.
It is funny because I enjoyed Rehab 1,000 times more than Detox.
I liked
Wait, the albums are like for real?
Yeah, the for real.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Michael was in
Something I
rehab
liked
for
off
jacking
of
off.
Yeah. I'm Catholic. It reminds me of somebody from our chat that called their mom from the Skillet concert crying because they felt bad that they jacked off and they want to confess to their mom. That's such a
God
perfect
damn it.
like 2000s Christian kid moment.
If that's what your music inspires people to do, you are the worst band of all time.
I would
Bro,
be.
you're playing like Evanescence type music, and then some kid starts crying and goes outside to call his mom to say, "I jerked off today. I'm sorry."
I'm so
His mom's probably
sorry.
like, go back to the concert. What the fuck, dude? You're on
Don't
drugs.
fucking tell me. Don't
Stop
fucking
drinking.
tell me.
Don't drink any more beer.
Go drink more. Go take more drugs.
Go
Until you
take
stop
more.
doing this.
Go jerk off.
Go jerk off. Don't ever fucking
Do
tell
it
me
again.
you jerk off.
Do it again. Don't call me. Don't ever.
Kush
don't ever,
was the song.
Don't. Yeah, that would be it. Don't ever fucking call me and tell me that you jerked off again.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Never.
be
No,
my
you're not
parents.
It's in
fucking
the
coming
Ten
home.
Commandments. Your parents should never hear or see you jacking off.
Yep. Honor
It should
that
happen
mother and that
completely
father's ears.
unbeknownst
Yeah.
to them.
Yep. Even if you almost get caught and you fling your arms up in the air and you look crazy.
And you say, I was scratching it. I was scratching it. I
I
was
was
just had an
washing
itch.
it. You're in your room.
I had an
was
itch.
washing it.
I had an itch and I was just, what? What? What are you doing in here?
Being caught putting a dildo up your ass. I was trying to get poop out. I was trying to get a poop
I
out.
was putting the poop in.
There was
the
a
poop was
poop
falling
deep
out.
in there.
I had to plug it up because my sister's in the bathroom and
I
I
fell
have to
on
poop
it.
and there's no bathroom.
You've got like a fuck machine with a big bad dragon thing on it, and it's just jamming into your ass over and over. You've got like cameras and multiple camera angles. And you're like, I was cleaning it.
I was cleaning the bad dragon.
Cleaning the inside of my ass.
It's got a sponge on it.
There's soap on it.
I was trying to fix the motor for my liftable desk and it just started.
I
going
fell
in my
onto it.
ass. I'm streaming. That's what the cameras are for. I'm trying to fix the motor to my desk. It started going in my ass. I
As
have
you
the
can see,
cover on
the
it.
fuck machine is fucking me, and I'm not doing anything.
I'm just here.
I'm just here. I'm
First
just
of
trying to be
all-
in my room. I was doing homework before this got turned on.
No, it's not mine. I haven't made my last 7 payments. It's not mine.
It's not mine technically.
So
Call
You're
Finger
interrupting
Hut.
me.
Call Finger Hut.
fuck. Call Sharper Image if you don't like it.
I got it out of the catalog.
Trevor Image selling a fuck machine.
So good.
Walking into the store, I'd be like, would you like to try out the fuck machine? Oh, yeah.
Walk out of Bed Bath and Beyond. Sorry, we don't have any bags big enough. It's okay. Just fucking
Do you
Sibian.
have any ties? Just in my car here. Go put my seats down.
Fuck.
Driving home in my Corolla and it's just sticking out of my trunk.
Just with a red flag waving off of it in the back.
Going under a bridge that's too low. Just knocks it off onto the
Going into
road.
the 11-4 and your fuck machine goes flying off.
No! Oh, that guy lost his fuck machine. That's so embarrassing.
Someone grabs it and just starts running.
No, some guy runs up and immediately starts sucking the dick of it. Like a vulture landing on some roadkill. Hey!
Someone just taking advantage
I was
of it
gonna-
immediately, like
Oh,
Brad
it's
when Vince
dirty.
leaves and Amber's there. When Vince is in the bathroom and Brad's just like, oh, God.
I always laugh thinking about Vince being like, I'm going to work at like 7:40 a.m. And Brad sits there with his fucking ear to the door, hearing Vince go thum thum, run away. And then Vince runs upstairs because he like forgets his lunch or something, comes flying back in the apartment, and Brad's just staring at like the sunrise with no pants on, just like in his t-shirt. Oh, hey Vince. Amber's just laying there on the ground.
My pants fell down. I was cleaning it.
I sneezed.
Brad's just saying he was
Sneeze.
cleaning Amber.
No,
It's
that's
giving her a
Brad's
bath.
cover, and Vince believes it because Brad sneezes all the time and his pants does fall down.
Yeah, he never wear a belt because it's too sharp.
That would be Brad, dude. He's at
Oh,
work.
100%.
He's at work with like 2 pickle jars in each hand. He goes, achoo. And the pickle jars fall and shatter, and you hear like, "Whew."
I love
His
when
fucking pants go
they
down.
do the bowling and like he like throws the ball and just has to keep one hand on his pants because they just keep falling down and showing his
he's
ass
rocking
crack.
the muckasuckers, man. He wants to show his ass and fucking
Yeah,
mom's
he's
pubis
becoming
all
an
the
old
time.
guy very fast. You can
He's
see it
so-
happen. It's like,
So cool.
You best not be rocking those muckasuckers on your wedding day, Brad. I don't want to see your ass on your wedding day.
You have suspenders because, or else your pants are just gonna fall right down.
Putting suspenders on my Dazzlers.
Yeah, that way you get the clip-on ones.
So cool to be a Brad type guy where like he finally gets married to a human woman, and he's like he just pulls his hat off only for like the picture during the vows. He has this red ring, little halo around his forehead, and his little baby hair stuck to his head.
That's a classic type of wedding photo. I've seen a lot of those with like people I went to high school with. Like,
Yeah, say, did you take a hat off 14 seconds before this photo?
like
Just wondering.
guys who had a learning disability in high school, and you see them getting married when they're 19, and you see the pictures on Facebook, and then you find out that they got divorced like 2 months later because she cheated on him with another guy who was in special ed. That happened to people from my high school.
The alt high school kids. That happened in a lot of places.
They get get mad pussy, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
My high school bully was learning disabled, and I'll never forget one day in sophomore. Yeah, mine
sophomore was year, after I fucking knocked some shit out of him.
But he like sat next to me, but then when we ever took tests, he went to a different classroom because that's where the teachers like cross out half of the multiple choice answers for him. And he got a better grade than me, and he was bragging and like shoving it in my face to show his better grade. And I was just looking, I could see all these X's through all the answers. And I'm like, bro, like,
that's like getting it's like getting a better speed run on like an easier difficulty. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I beat you by 4 minutes. Like you were playing on easy, motherfucker.
It's very eerily similar to Outlaw talking about the one chip challenge to bully Tom. Actually, I did it in 17 minutes.
God damn
it, I used
man.
the fan, and I didn't cheat, and I didn't drink milk, and I didn't eat ice cream until afterwards.
Actually,
and the fan's not cheating.
Do you know who wins the one chip challenge?
You don't know how to tie your shoes, right?
Anybody who doesn't pay $30 to do it.
Yeah.
That's who wins the one chip challenge.
So like, Outlaw lost?
Just think about the hot things that you would enjoy more that would burn less for less than $30.
Go to any wing place. Go to any wing place and get like 6 of the like atomic wings.
Oh my god, yeah. If you're gonna be one of those guys too, by the way, if you're gonna be one of these motherfuckers that's like, oh, do the one chip challenge, go get the kind of attention and validation you're looking for at Buffalo Wild Wings when they have the blazing contests.
Yeah.
You will get the attention from everyone in the room. They're gonna cheer for you. They're gonna call you fucking like Giga Chad because you're eating spicy food, even though you're a big fat guy. Awesome.
And you're gonna get like a car decal or maybe even a T-shirt if they're feeling generous.
There's nothing
instead of
funnier
just
to
sitting
me like
in your room doing nothing.
Twitch emote culture wise anyway. When there's like a big like Sean in the Pack type guy that does something like sort of cool, like flips a water bottle and lands upright, and everybody's like Giga Chad. It's fucking hilarious, man. Saying that about someone like so pathetic and just like stuck. So funny to me. It's like it's like seeing it's like seeing like a
That's
fucking
Boogie's whole thing. Being judged by extremely low standards because he's fat.
That's so cool. Then
the dog bit his nipple. The dog bit my nipple. That's Giga Chad.
You guys better be nice to me. I'm gonna get fat again. I swear to God. The boogie threat.
The boogie threat.
The boogie promise.
The boogie bomb.
You guys.
I'm gonna drop
nice
the boogie bomb.
Do not drop the boogie bomb, please. We don't say those words around here.
All right, well, thank you for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening.
And check out Boogie on YouTube.
Yeah. He's coming on the next podcast.
Yep. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Your radio is set on cruise control. Get set for another 45 minutes of non-stop rock and roll. At least 10 great rock songs back to back. Guaranteed.